So, hi, I'm Amy from Denim. I'm here with the wonderful Ashley, and Ashley is going to tell you a little bit about herself. Tell us all about yourself, Ashley, what you do, what your role is, etc., etc.
Yeah, so I'm the denim and collection buyer at American Rag on La Brea. And yeah, I basically buy all of the women's product that's in the entire store, from accessories to shoes to denim and any collection line.
Excellent. And we spoke. When was it? It was a couple of weeks ago. And we were actually going to be talking about, just retail, really, about retail and AMRAG. And this was actually, I think it was 2 or 3 days after George Floyd's death. And
Yeah.
so much has happened in this country and in this city since then. Um, but around that time, we kind of talked about the future of retail anyway, and we talked about like relationships with your customer and bonds that are kind of formed during COVID, etc., etc. So I think some of those themes are still really relevant. So I kind of just wanted to start with that, but also where we left off was you were about to open. You were preparing to open. And I know lots of friends who were doing the same thing, like over that weekend, right? Like Friday, they were like, okay, here we go. Can you talk us through what's happening right now and where you're at with all of that?
Yeah, so we actually still did open on Saturday, which for LA, I think Saturday was our first protest, and that one was a little crazy because I think a lot of just the looting started happening, and we opened up from 10 to 2, a few hours. We did have customers, but we had to like quickly close because of how fast the news spread about just some of the things that were going on from the people who weren't necessarily peacefully protesting with everyone.
Mm,
So yeah, we opened up for a few hours and ended up boarding up our store, and it is currently still boarded up.
mm,
And we're hoping to open up this weekend. We're trying to see when the stores on our block are opening up so we can kind of be in unison with them. I think that we don't want to be, you know, I just we don't want to like open up our store and like come in and shop when there's people who are still really affected by what's going on.
yeah,
So we definitely felt like calling the other stores and just communicating with them so we're all in unison, so it didn't seem insensitive in
yeah,
any way of like, okay, this is going on, but we're still going to open our doors.
yeah,
So
exactly.
we're definitely taking note of everything going on.
Yeah, I think everyone feels the same way, whether it's a business as far as their social media is concerned, or whether it is, like you say, a store. Yeah, it's getting that balance between, kind of like giving a respectful distance,
Yeah.
and then also for safety reasons as well. Like it's better to open in unison, isn't it? If the whole block is open, it's better than if it's just like one solo
One
store.
store.
Exactly. So let's go back into the conversation that we had about the American Rag customer. And when we spoke, we were talking about COVID, especially, and we were talking about how that's kind of like it's important to have a strong relationship with your customer, whether you're a brand or whether you're a store. And you were kind of talking about how that has become more important than ever before, especially as far as trust is concerned. So I wondered if we could like hop back on that, talk about COVID a little bit, but also, I mean, I think with respect to everything that's happening in our city as well, the uniting with, people, brands, companies, it's all really important and even more important than it was, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are really hoping that we've actually had a few people come in these today, and on Friday I think we've had people calling because they asked us if we were open, but we've just been telling them like, if you want to come in, we're here.
Yeah.
So we've had a few people come in, but it's definitely going to be more of a personal experience because like we were talking about before, people are going to need to trust you. And there it's not going to be the same thing where someone's going to just come in and necessarily grab something, because
Yeah.
a lot of businesses are changing their exchange or return policies just because of the safety of bringing the garments into your house and then not knowing if anyone's sick and then having to bring it back. So a lot of people have had to kind of put returns and exchanges on hold for a little bit, or change the policy for the amount of time, just out of the safety of everyone. So I think it's really going to be important that there's this bond between the sales associates and the customers coming in. They're going to want to be able to trust you, which is a great thing, because then that means they're going to be loyal to the people and wanting to come back all the time.
And you have that at American Rag in a big way. I think it's interesting. Loyalty and values seem to be more important than ever before right now. But you're kind of like a kind of legendary store in Los Angeles and the world. When I used to live in England, we'd fly in and we would, American Rag was our number one stop. So have you found that in general, as COVID has happened over the last, weeks and months, have you noticed that about like your key customers, your loyal customers, there's a real relationship there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had a customer come in today who called, and he was like, "Are you guys opened up?" And we were like, "No, you can just come in." And he came in and was like, "I've been shopping here since the 90s." And he built a bond with one of our new employees, and that right there was just enough for him to say, "Well, I'm going to come back and work with you," which
Yeah,
I think is so great that that's able to happen now, and people still trust us enough to
totally.
help them. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think it's so important. And like, what are the measures that you guys are putting down as far as COVID is concerned? Safety measures, or what do you do as a retailer? Because it must be pretty complex.
Yeah, I mean, so Mark, he definitely is taking this very seriously. So he bought plexiglass to cover our cash wrap area, but he also bought these like giant body size plexiglass shields almost, which we're trying to play around with to kind of see how it's going to work. But his idea is that the salesperson for each department is kind of standing behind it while the customer looks around and just
Wow,
giving
it
them the
screams.
social distancing space. Um, and it was cool. He had some like footprints and stuff laid out to kind of keep people from social distancing. And,
Mm.
like you saw when you were at the store, we have like those huge things in the windows that say "wash your hands."
Oh yeah.
um, yeah, I definitely think that he's taken the time to really make sure that everyone's safe. And we now also will be having an entrance and an exit, so it'll be no more of just like coming through the main
Oh, okay.
entrance.
Mm.
Yeah, just because we have to monitor it. I think it has to be half of our capacity, I believe. I could be wrong, but I do think that's part of like some of the regulations that they have. So we have to have somebody guiding how many people are in the store, and also just making sure people are social distancing while they're in line as well.
Yeah, totally, totally. Okay, so oh, you also mentioned, I remember last time, about like steam, so the changing rooms and
Oh,
steaming and all of that stuff. Because I was thinking that, when people are thinking about the future of trying on a pair of jeans, that will all change. But apparently, steaming, the heat of a steamer is enough to kind of kill the
I
germs.
mean, apparently,
Yeah.
we've heard this. Hopefully, this is true. But yeah, so the new system that we're gonna have for the fitting room is the second that the customer comes out, the employee immediately goes in, cleans, wipes down the entire fitting room, and all of the garments that they tried on go onto a rack and get pushed to the back to get steamed. We actually won't even put them back on the floor. until the next day. So a
Ah,
lot of the garments won't even, if people try them on, those garments won't even hit the floor until the following day.
got you, got you. Whoa. I mean, all of those things are going to impact retail. It's going to be slower, but then you have said that you've been pretty successful online. So
Yes.
I'm guessing it'll even itself out.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we'll be able to get through this. And even us being open, for those couple of hours on Saturday, we had a decent amount of sales, which was great. I mean, I think people are ready to spend their money.
Yeah, yeah.
Here in LA, our restaurants and bars opened up today.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right, people are desperate to get back to some kind of normal life for sure. And then I
Exactly.
guess, like, just to end on then, like, um, I just feel like the city of LA right now, I mean, I just heard a protest go like right past on Sunset. I feel like the last sort of 7 to 10 days, there's been so much love on the streets and, uniting. Um, do you, how do you see that this all affects, I mean, I don't know if it could affect business. I don't know. I don't want that to sound shallow, but like, as a community, as, people who all live in the same city, we're all going to stores, we all want to go back to some kind of normal life, and how this will impact our normal life and how we will all move forward from this. Like, do you think we'll be stronger as a city, as a nation? Do you think it's going to be positive?
I honestly think it will. I went out to a protest in Hollywood earlier or last week actually,
Mm,
and it was so emotional for me to see so many people of different races all together. I don't think we've ever had anything like this.
mm,
And to see that the entire world is doing this, it's just like it's amazing to me. I mean, I do feel like it's sad that we're still having to do these things in
yeah,
2020,
yeah,
but we've never had anything like this before. We've never had this many types of races and different cultures and backgrounds and even religions
yeah,
come out and speak for not only just George Floyd, but all of the other Black
yeah.
lives that have been lost from police brutality and things like that. So it was honestly really emotional for me. And I really do think that there will be change. I've personally seen, or I've been seeing on the news changing. So things changing. So
Yeah,
I feel like it's working.
yeah, it's really like we're actually really, yeah, I think affecting real policy, which is really, really cool. And like we were talking about just before this about like the peaceful protest via the kind of looting, I think there was just a lot of anger at the beginning, and then what's been really awesome is, I think, like you say, seeing that love pouring out from everybody has turned this into something different, like a different dialogue, which hopefully is going to be more lasting. Um, and yeah, I think, it's been amazing seeing, everyone out there supporting Black-owned businesses, etc., etc. I just think, we've gone through a lot, and we are coming out of a lot of different things, multiple different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, with so much more positivity and unity as well. So I agree. I hope we're both right.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I really think that this will have a turning point in a positive way. Um, I know we're definitely as a company trying to look into different types of Black organizations that we can help give proceeds to. Definitely highlighting some of the Black-owned designers and brands that we have in the store as well.
So true.
Um, is a little something that I'm personally working on for us too, because I think that's really important. And I think it's great that there's a lot of light being, shed on the Black community.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think it's awesome, and I really hope that there is a long lasting change and that this isn't just anything temporary.
Yeah.
But I think with the entire world speaking up, I think that it's definitely going to have a
People
huge.
will hold each other accountable as well, I think, from here on in. Hopefully, I think there'll be more
Yeah.
of that. There's a lot of talk of that on social media because it's been the last 10 days have been full on, and everyone's like, don't lose momentum, keep going, So, yeah, it's awesome showing your support on the streets, and then like you say, it's fucking great to, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to swear on here, it's great, it's great to hear yeah, decisions like that actually like go into the way that a company is run and what you buy into and what you champion inside stores and stuff like that. So yeah, awesome. We've probably talked for way longer than we were meant to, but thank you so much. Okay, thank you for joining me. Thanks for talking about retail and Black Lives Matter and Los Angeles and love. And I'm looking forward to chatting to you some more in the future for sure.
Of course. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Yay, awesome. See you.